Hello and welcome back. Today, I have kind of a blast from the past. This is a Recon 1 from Cold Steel, which they still make this today, and they probably make it much better. But yeah, this is an original Recon 1. This used kind of their weird bastardization of an access lock. More on that later. Um, has some G10 scales on there. And then nested liners. It's got thumb disc opening. You can see this guy's been beat up over the years. This is using their AUS 8A blades, which I don't think they've used that for quite some time. Most of their other stuff, they switched to CTS XHP or maybe BD1N and then over to S35VN. Whatever. I don't know. This one's from very early 2000s, maybe even 2000. Uh, yeah, so I've carried this guy quite a bit over the years. What first thing you can really notice, I was pointing it out with the clip, but it also happens with the blade. Whatever coating that they actually have on there, not exactly the strongest in the world. Um, Most of these nicks and scratches and everything were basically going through cardboard and whatnot over the years. And the pocket clip just from general wearing. Uh, it's a super big blade, which I personally liked. It's got a relatively neutral handle, which really makes it comfortable to hold on to. It kind of just has a little thing right there. You don't really get any jimping on the top of the blade, but you do get a decent amount of grip in general from it, and you certainly would if you get your thumb on top of that thumb disc there. I actually have the clip on this side rather than standard this side because a lot of times when I'm walking around, I carry multiple knives, and this one stays on my left side. So I've swapped the clip over because it's fairly ambidextrous. It's a heavy boy. It's 6.4 ounces or 180 grams or so. You got like a 3.8 inch blade on there. I've got. That might have been up a little bit further than it needed to be, but that's fine. This is the clip point version. They also, of course, make it at a spear point and a tanto. And I don't know, knowing Cold Steel, they probably made a crazy, ridiculous, wavy thing out of it too. The blade stock is just over 3.5 millimeters. And what I do want to do, because I haven't done this before, is disassemble this guy. What I have a giant problem with it, so I don't even remember what they call this older lock, but it was their Access ripoff long before Access patents had gone away. They got around it by, you can see, they put the crossbar directly through the blade instead of riding over the top of it. That's how they kind of got around that. But it had one fundamental problem, and I can speak to this one as well as many of them that I've sold in my knife shop that I had. Oh, geez, it's been a long time now. Yeah, so in the early 2000s, we sold quite a few of these, and all of them had that problem of this access lock. When you want to disengage it, you want to make sure you use both fingers to pull back on it. If you're used to a Benchmade where you just pull on one side, it can fairly easily slant off to the side and then jam itself back so the blade doesn't lock closed or open. It would just flop everywhere. And it was a really bad time. Generally with these, we would actually have to get like a piece of wood there right behind the access lock and hammer it on the side that was off center to try to get it back into place. And I don't know what it would do on the inside of the blades. But since then they've of course changed over to a different locking mechanism. This is a tough light, but it's got the same locking mechanism. It's kind of a lockback, but it does have a stop pin there, and it kind of comes up and sandwiches in between that. It's called their triad lock, and while this is probably just as strong as the triad lock, this actually works out a lot better and is probably much cheaper to manufacture. So, with all that being said, I'm going to try to tear this sumbitch apart and see what we actually have on the inside. This is my T8 bit, and I need to start with T6. There we go. Until they've really put a lot of care into the amount of backspacers that they have. I do believe that this pocket clip does screw into the liners on the inside, so that's why I'm removing it. Whereas a lot of times if you don't have to remove a pocket clip, great, leave it in place. I can say the pocket clip on this guy is designed rather well. It's certainly straight, so it's ambidextrous. You can have it on either side, and you got no problems with that whatsoever. Slides in and out of the pocket great. Doesn't really have any hot spots that I could really speak of. It was just generally a well-done pocket clip. Alrighty, let's get some backspacer screws out of the way here. Let's start on the bottom, huh? As I screw and it shoves it out the other side. Okay. No problem. Yeah, those are teeny tiny little screws. None of them have come loose over the years though, so you know, that's great. I certainly am noticing signs of rust, but that's mostly with the hardware and everything. So it shouldn't be too bad, but we shall see. Alrighty. I am curious on if I do need to possibly try to unscrew these with a flathead screwdriver or not. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Because one way or another, I'm going to get inside this thing here. Alright, yeah, there was a lot of Loctite on there, and it has held over the years. So, yeah, kudos to them for that. Generally hate when a pivot screw will come loose over time. Okay, so yeah. Well, there's some pocket lint right there. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty darn similar to an access lock in here. You got the Omega springs, but they're shaped a little bit different. Yep, uses about the same there. So okay. Let's start popping out these back spacers. Come on out of there, boy. You know, generally that's not the best option. When you have something else that can poke at it. This is just a little watch bar replacement tool. Kind of picked a couple of these up after watching some Nick Shabazz reviews, and they certainly help for, you know, poking at some things from time to time. He mainly uses them to oil things, you know, get around little pieces or whatnot, but not me so much apparently. So, okay, so with that, then this G10 backspacer comes out. Lovely decade and a half of pocket grime, just wonderful. You can see that it does have a D-shaped pivot. You can see the flat part down there, which is certainly a good thing to see. I absolutely appreciate that. Man, you can see they milled the ever-loving crap out of that there with the whole access opening. It's fairly deep compared to what I'm used to seeing on a lot of Benchmade and the other Chinese knives that tend to use that kind of thing these days. Gonzo and what was that other one? Why start? Yeah. Which little existential kind of question there. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to see if a flathead screwdriver will actually take that out. I certainly know they spin. Let's see. I have a flathead 2.5 driver from iFixit, which I actually got mostly for the Phillips screwdrivers in the set. Nope, that's not really turning. Because I needed something. Yeah, you can see that's actually moving it on this side by turning it. And I'm almost going to cut myself. Whatever. But I originally got this set because I needed some Phillips heads that were nice and long so that I could get inside Sega Saturns, because I repaired quite a few of those as a fun little side project. I gave one of them away to a workmate for kind of a Secret Santa kind of thing, and I still have like 4 or 5 of them sitting on my shelf. So, okay. So I'll just punch that little pivot screw out of there, and then you can certainly see this guy's just kind of... Okay, I can actually remove that side of that. Hey, nylon washing, huh? Or nylon washer, huh? And yeah, I mean, the blade is not really super able to come out of there. I got some more lint, apparently. Right. What do you think is the best way to actually remove that access lock? I mean, I can certainly get these... I can certainly get the springs off real easy, because they just pop off from there and then unhook from the handles. They're kind of a dime a dozen at this point. Oh, get out of the hole. There we go. Alright, so that's that. So I got a couple of floppy scales and trying to figure out how to get this off. And yeah, these scales could use a bit of cleaning up. No skeletonization whatsoever. These things are heavy, chunky boys. And they got, a little bit of rust on some places. Mostly around where screw holes are, so I would probably blame that more on the screws themselves than on the plates otherwise. But yeah, it's certainly something that using a little bit of flitz and some tough glide will probably clear up quite a bit. Alright, let me grab out more of a flathead driver out of here that's a little less dainty. See if I can't get one of these things loose here. This is the larger driver, because you can get a huge set. And originally I was really excited about this set because it actually came with some game bit drivers for taking apart Nintendo cartridges and Sega cartridges and whatnot. But it's really proven quite useful over the years for all sorts of stuff, from electronics to bike maintenance to a whole bunch of stuff. It's not cheap, but it's pretty darn worth it. I think, at least. Okay, so it is free spinning, right? Yes. So the next thing on my list of hardware to pull out now is going to be my trusty, well, you could call it a Leatherman. This is the Victorinox Swiss Tool Spirit, if I remember right. Got this kind of around the same time. Alright, yeah, that is straight up not working either. It has, of course, wedged itself, like it does when you have issues with it, where you can't actually pull it back, even though it's supposed to be free spinning there. So that's some fun stuff. Let's try this again. I'll put it on the knurled edge of the pliers. Hey, there we go. So cool. There we are. Yep, I can say that this blade works pretty good. It's not a super steel by any stretch of the imagination. It's AOS 8A. But, I mean, Cold Steel has always really had a decent heat treat on all their stuff. So, it's certainly worked. And, a lot of people have really enjoyed them over the years. And, they're ridiculous DVDs to try to back that up a little bit. Of, hey, let's cut a pig up and then stab it into a flak jacket, which flak jackets aren't designed to, whatever. Just having a good time. But yeah, it's a good knife. They're much better today than they were back then with the S35 VN blades that they use now. And I'm sure that they probably skeletonized these liners and everything. But yeah, what I am noticing is we have 2 nylon washers and 1 phosphor bronze. So only one side of it actually gets a phosphor bronze interface. But that's kind of the way Cold Steel likes to roll. They're super into their nylon washers. I'm sure that's exactly what's inside this little mini Tough Light, which I don't think I've taken apart before. But I also have a ridiculously larger knife like this called the Frenzy, which it's stupid. I'll bring it out at some point here, but it's got like a 6-inch blade on it. It's ridiculous. But, and it's got a nice S35 VN blade on it. Warncliffe profile kind of thing. And on the inside, just a couple of tiny little nylon washers. So I'm not expecting bearings, but for the price point that this guy went for, which was I think we retailed it for around $100. I think $99.95. No, I was wrong on that. So that's good. That's a little bit better than they currently have on some of their models. But yeah, like I was going to say, that Frenzy was about $120 something, and yeah, I just got some little nylon washers in there. But I guess if they work all right, then there you go. But I'm going to get to work on cleaning this guy up so I can put him back together and get him back on my shelf. You can see he's all sorts of goopy and grimy. But you can also see it's wedged. There we go. That's finally let go. Yeah, not too bad of a thing. Yeah, you can see it's D-shaped there, which in their mind probably worked great for riding against the blade right there without, without any problems. Just it had a problem out of the factory of trying to pull back on that on one side that would kind of twist it and get it off of that D shape onto the side, and that would actually just wedge the thing in there, and you just couldn't close or open the knife. It was a terrible situation. But that's all I really got for you. This guy seems pretty darn straightforward to put back together, so I don't really think there's any need to show that whole process. But yeah, I'm going to get to work on cleaning this guy up. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like. Here's the two nail polishes that I currently got on myself. One of them changes between blue and purple, but it might be kind of hard to see that. And the other one kind of color changes between red and black. Thought they looked kind of neat together. But yeah, all that being said, have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, yo.